go on because Disney, and then it changed hands, and it changed hands to someone else, and changed hands to someone else,
Mm-hmm.
and they finally got it. But I don't know. I just think it's a pretty interesting that so much people are buying this bootleg. What were a lot of people buying this bootleg?
I certainly don't have access to those numbers, but I could tell you that it was a moderately circulated bootleg.
Wait, you don't have bootleg Mojo?
No, I guess not. I don't have a keys to that portal, but it does feel like the Snyder Cut success story of 1995 or whatever it started circulating. Like, I'm sure anybody who's like some sort of Snyder apologist is probably like, oh yeah, this is giving me hope and gassing me up for a possible Snyder Cut of Justice League. But I don't know how feasible it is anymore because Miramax being Miramax and the different fandom climate at the time. I think this kind of thing might, go out of style or existence the more sort of corporate these structures become, because it's owned by Warner Bros. And AT&T and God knows how many other stakeholders involved now. They can't just pull the trigger on some unreleased cut.
They should have just let him. Well, I don't know if he left production. There's so much murkiness around him leaving these shoots. I don't really want, like, his daughter. I don't want to talk about that. But
yeah, that's its own sort of
they
episode.
should have just released this. Like, if they had a full cut, they should have just released that instead of having Joss Whedon come in and just make it a nothing movie. It should have been a polarizing Snyder film as opposed to a blob.
A compromise, right? Yeah, I mean, again, it's its own, I think, episode. But yeah, I think that's what it resonates with this producer's cut, because I already mentioned, maybe I don't prefer it, but it definitely has that trademark of, well, some person had a singular vision. It was a little rough, but you can tell it was their vision. And that I think is worth more than a bad studio movie. So
I did like action hero Rudd in the theatrical cut, though. He womps on Michael.
He does. He has a hero moment with a lead pipe or whatever, and why Michael Myers oozes green liquid from his mask, I'm not quite entirely sure. I think it's because they pump him full of mysterious medicine drugs. But yeah. So again, one more thing to add to the pile of what were they thinking?
Because you know what I love about these movies? So let's say this was canon. I guess this latest Halloween movie didn't make it canon, but when you make these little decisions like that with green blood, and that just becomes, like, that's another thing to explain.
Yeah, and I actually don't know if that's what they intended. Like, in the scene prior, before he gets a whooping, he, I believe I think it's Tommy who does inject him with a few syringes of it's like literal Mountain Dew, by the way. It's not even remotely plausible in reality. But yeah, I think that's supposed to be what it is, and I just don't understand why it would seep through his eye holes. But whatever.
I have a couple more things for you. I love a good neck snap that looks like the neck is made of butter.
Okay, that's actually one of the big differences between the producer's cut and theatrical.
That one guy.
Very big upgrade in the beginning. As I think you're referring to the part Jamie is escaping.
Yeah, and the truck driver gets his neck snapped.
Which, can we talk about just a second here? Just add this to the pile, because we got a pile going. Why is there a guy just drinking beer in the rain?
What, you don't do that?
I guess I just am not hip to what the kids are doing now, but he's just kind of hanging out, and it's God knows what hour in the evening. He's not working on anything, but he's got a poncho on. He's just sort of chilling with a beer. I mean, I guess people enjoy shower beers, so this is kind of similar.
Ooh.
But, just a guy hanging out in the... I don't know. I don't understand why he was there, but...
It was a long day.
The neck snap is super gratuitous, but more of a fan reaction I think you'd get in the theatrical version.
Now, last but not least, before we get out of here, what is in the stomach pounder?
Well, it's bananas, it's peanut butter. I don't remember after that. Apparently it's gross, though.
But bananas and peanut butter would taste great.
That sounds good,
yeah.
Right? But there's other stuff in there I don't remember.
What would make it gross?
The Tim Strode stomach pounder. Actually, the commentary, I think, makes an allusion to another film, and of course now it escapes me, but I believe that is a reference. Ooh, I think it's The Fog. I believe that was a reference to the Fog. And I might be wrong, but I think that's what they included that little bit. to allude from. But yeah, I don't remember what's entirely in it. I'm sure there's some sort of maniacal fan online who's concocted their own recipe for it.
And speaking of that, for Ernest Scared Stupid, our friend David Cross figured out what miak is.
What is it?
A Bulgarian yogurt kind of substance.
Wait, what's Bulgarian yogurt? Like, what's the difference there?
Thing. No, it's a separate strain of yogurt. It's a pretty big thing. And if you look at the thing, it says authentic, but then it also says plain. So it's like authentic original. So that means there are copies of it, and then it says plain, which means they're flavors. It's not a powder.
Okay.
It's like
I
a
was just
yogurt-like
curious as to what
substance from
makes.
concentrate. So it's from concentrate. So if you look at condensed milk, that's concentrated.
So
he thinks it's part of like ingredients to make a yogurt that you can put on your pancakes, which is a rough term because they're more like crepes in Bulgaria. They do like their crepes, and they do like their yogurt strain, which is very good out there. So he thinks it's it's in a stoneware glass, which French yogurt, as you know, they often release yogurt in stoneware, and people collect it.
I
It's
knew
kind of a
that,
thing.
as I know.
And
Yes.
also in Bulgaria. we did so much research on this, but yeah, just listen to the episode. It's on there. But we have
There's your pitch.
We know exactly. Well, we don't know exactly. There's no right answer, which is nice, but we do. We know.
But you know.
Yeah.
But you know.
I think the Bulgarians are gonna love it because for a while we were ranked number 21 in Bulgaria.
Is that going to be your poll quote on the next ad you put out?
Yeah.
number 21 in Bulgaria.
And India. For a while we were number 21 in India. Big numbers.
Huge.
Anything else about this movie before we get out of here?
I love this movie, and it's for reasons I already explained, but I also just think, especially coming off 5, it's a wonderful 90s time capsule. I love the atmosphere, and it does get a lot wrong, especially trying to over-explain sort of the motivations and ruin the mystery of Michael Myers. And honestly, in another universe, if there are infinite universes, there's a movie version of this that exists that is pretty great and doesn't have anything to do with Thorn. And golly, I want to be in that universe someday.
All right. I want you to rank all the Halloween movies, including the producer's cut.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh,
starting with best.
Wait, best or my favorites? Because that's very different.
Okay, favorites.
So if we're talking favorites based on rewatchability, first one's a no duh. Oh, gosh. Truth be told, 2, then 4, then 6, and 3, I love 3, H2O, and then...
The most recent one?
5 before it. And then the most recent one, we're not counting, the most recent one, then Resurrection. Yeah, that's it. I'm not including the zombie movies, but it's not even that but I'm just not going to overcomplicate this. But as much as I appreciated and enjoyed the latest one, it upon repeat viewings doesn't quite hold up for me as well. But that's just me right now. Who knows where I'll be next year? So, what about you?
Next time I have you rank these, I want to see the video because you sounded like some wheels are spinning up there.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
What about you?
1, H2O. 5,
Tina.
4, 3,
the
latest Halloween.
Okay.
2.
Damn, 2's low.
Yeah. And then, what else do I have left?
You're forgetting 6 and Resurrection.
Oh, 6. Okay, 6, Resurrection, and then this Halloween 2, then Halloween 1.
Yeah, you said 2 already.
No, I just went back to
Oh, you mean the zombie movies? Yeah.
No, I put Resurrection last and the zombies ahead of them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really thought for a while I could revisit Resurrection and give it a pass. I can't do it. It is actually one of the worst movies by any measure, really. I don't know if I could ever talk at length about it. I would just get angry.
It's the final destination of the series.
It killed it. It effectively killed it. Yeah.
I think. Have you watched Final Destination movies?
Of course I have. I spent all Sunday watching the AMC marathon.
So, I wish 5 would have been 4. If 4 was the highest grossing sans inflation. Made a lot of money at the box office. Imagine if 5 came out ahead of 4. 4 never existed, and 4 came out. 5 was 4, which is a good movie. It's the only fresh Final Destination movie. I'd put it up with 1 as the best. That would have been a bigger hit, and then we would have maybe had more. What do you think?
I think we're going to get more no matter what. I just think it needs room to breathe. Personally, the third one's the best by miles.
Oh, I hate the third one.
What?
I can't stand it.
What about the third one is like offensive to you? It's patently great.
The character, the roller coaster's boring. I hate the death of the two suntanners.
What's to hate about that?
The deaths are so like CGI. The guy's head gets squished. That's boring. The sister's just a really pain in the butt. That one guy is like a crotch-shotting guy, and he's supposed to be the protagonist. And then you have the weird nail gun thing with the guy killing the birds, and then the fireworks, and then the squish, boring ending, and then the weird train thing.
you don't like the guy killing the birds with the nail gun.
None of it's good. It's a bad movie.
We don't have the time for me to fight you on this, but I respect your opinion, even knowing it is wrong.
So we have the whole series coming out, and I did a Lake Placid episode with my another MFF contributor, Jay, and he was mad at me that I didn't cover the Final Destination movies with him. So I'm finding out all you guys like the Final Destination movies.
I mean, you might want to check yourself, because I think I've got a somewhat majority opinion of this. I mean, I've talked to the Final Destination heads. That's what we call ourselves, by the way, the FD heads. And yeah, I mean, the latter ones, they continue to get better. I'll give you that.
There's no planet where 3 and 4 comes anywhere in the top 3.
Oof, there's a planet, man. I got receipts. I got links. You want some links? I got some flippin' links for you.
I gotta try. No, I looked through all the links. So get this, in true Mark Hoffmeyer style, I went through about 15 different websites and I ranked all the movies. And then I also ranked them according to Tomato Meter, IMDb, Metacritic, Rotten Tomato audience score, and box office. And I gave them all number assignments for each. And the winner by a long distance, it was 5 and 1 were almost tied. Then it was 2, and then it was 3, and then it was the last one. I went through tons of sites and I gathered all the rankings.
I mean, I appreciate that. You're the social scientist on this, and I will not argue with the numbers. I think Den of Geek actually sides with me on this one. I remember their list being pretty favorable to 3.
Yeah,
can we at least agree? Can we at least agree that 2 is not good? 2 is, apart from the opener, which is wondrous. I did not care about 2 as much.
I love when the airbag kill. I love the cube kill. I love when he slips on spaghetti.
Sure, there's some good stuff in there. I'm just saying the plot became entirely overcomplicated.
I liked 2 a lot. I don't like how they kept saying Dr. Javargian. They were at the end like, "Where's Javargian? Look for Javargian. Where's Javargian?"
It's a weird hang up to have, but
yeah, but watch that movie again. You're like, "Geez Louise, that's a lot of them saying that doc." Couldn't you say, "Hey, where's the doctor?"
Sure.
But yeah, no. Dude, 3 is so bad.
It is not bad, and I'll tell you why. I got 3 words for you, and you already know what those words are.
Yeah. So we were talking, and I think she gives. All right, so the best performances in the franchise, if I had to think of the 3, right?
Sure.
I would say her, and then in the 5th one, I like them.
You can't even remember their names. I was going to say, I think Devon Sawa did a pretty good job in the first one.
I like Friedkin, that kid who loses his girlfriend and kind of goes crazy. I think that's a good arc for him. And then Devon Sawa. And I also like Ali Larter in that, too. So
Ali Larter's good, even though I didn't love the second one, but you're right.
So, I mean, I would put him as those 4. 5 has character development. That kid's going to go to France, and the girl doesn't want to go, so she breaks up with him because she wants him to realize his dreams, but then they realize they got to start over, so they're going to go together. You have the LASIK, the Final Gymnastics. Anyway, we're carrying this. So, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm learning that all you guys love Final Destination, so maybe one day I'll get all the MFF contributors, get 4 or 5 of us on an episode, and maybe have
fight to the death.
And just have an all-out Final Destination.
The Final Destination death match.
So I'll tell people, hey, don't listen to this episode now because it's the first time we're doing it. Listen to our nicer episodes, but we're gonna go vicious on this one.
Sure, sounds good.
I should pull all the MFF contributors just to see 3 at like the 4th spot.
It's not going to be the 4th spot. You're wrong. You're totally wrong.
Well, this was fun, man. Hey, thanks for coming out and doing Producer's Cut.
No sweat. I appreciate you having me on.
And then talking about some Final Destination with me.
Always.
All right, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Adam, A-Train Clement.
No.
This is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week. Choo-choo.
No.